Hello everybody, Zeph here with Zeph's Trading. Hope everyone's doing well today. We're going to be doing something a little different. Going to be going over a NASDAQ 1-minute scalping strategy. I really like this for making anywhere from 2 to 4 to sometimes 6 your risk. And this has about a 50%, 60% hit rate, as long as you're really cherry picking the good ones and staying disciplined to the strategy. A few rules to go over is number one, price makes a higher high or a lower low. Number two, RSI needs to make a higher low or a lower high. 3, you want a good signal bar to enter on. As always, context is key. And the Keltner channel indicator is optional to have. So let's go over these real quick. Number one, price makes a higher high or a lower low. When our first example here is right around here. We have a high, pretty simple, and then price makes a higher high. Right here, we have the indicator for our RSI, just a regular indicator, by the way. Settings are 14, 70, 30, just default settings as always. And you have the RSI that makes a high, then makes a lower high. And I like to visually draw this, something like this, usually. Kind of helps me when trading or pointing these out. And I'll do the same thing with the price. I just do something like that. These are also called divergences. I'm sure you've heard of, or if you're new, these are called divergences. You're coordinating the RSI with the price action, and basically what this is double bottoms or double tops. You're looking for big U-turn moves here. The bull's running out of steam or the bear's running out of steam. This is what you're catching here. And it's great because when you have double tops that go a little higher, it basically takes out all of the stops who are people short. They get trapped, try to go long, and then it sells off again soon. It gets quite fast paced, so you can get in and out of trades pretty quick, which I like as well. Okay, so that's price making a higher high or a lower low, and I'll show you an example of when to go long as well. This instance is short here. You want a good signal bar. And let me just shrink this real quick. And so when we're looking at this trade without hindsight, we're going to zoom back here. This is when price first makes on this candle right here, and it breaks above the high. And as we're looking at our indicator, we zoom in here, bar by bar, we now see that the price has just turned down. Now, so what we're looking for is our signal has basically, our context is here. We have a higher high, a lower high on a both price and RSI for the indicator. So it meets our signals, setup, strategy. Now the next thing is we're looking for a signal bar. So if we're biased and we know to go short, this is a nice signal bar. Now this is an inside bar, but it's closing on its 1/3 and it's bearish. And we want to be bearish here because we have a higher high. And we're looking for price to revert back down. So in this instance, we have the RSI, the price action, and a good signal bar. So all three of our criteria is met. And good context is here as well. I'll show you with the Keltner channel later on. And so we can enter on this bar, or we can enter on this bar. Another hammer looking bar closing on its low. As you can see, multiple red bars closing on their lows as well. So we can enter on this one and go for 4 times our risk. Or if you like to do the default 2 times your risk, you can do that as well. Or just do simple support and resistance and make it so price is right around there. And that's your first target. And then you can trail accordingly or add, take off some, etc. Many ways to trade. But that's what you're looking for the first example. Now let's do one more here. So that'll be a going short example. There's also a really good one. As you can see, this was a really big winner here. You'll catch maybe, I mean, this one just took off. You time the high, which is very hard to do. But if you take each signal, you'll get a few of these. And you start swinging under each one, each high. then you could trail this very well. Or what I like to do with not adding so much pressure, just go to 4 times my risk here, and just do it that way basically. So we also have an example down here with one that looks really good, and the better they look, the better they perform. If you're hesitant about it and you're like, I don't know, it probably isn't going to perform that well. That's why you really want to cherry pick this and make sure that you're doing it properly. So let me bring our rules back. Go back here. So we need price to make a higher high or lower low. Well, we have price making a low, lower low. So that's the first criteria. The RSI needs to make a higher low or lower high. Okay, well, here's a low right here, and it makes a lower high. So now our price has been met, our strategy is being met. Now we need a good signal bar. And I like always showing you guys without the hindsight and doing it real time. We have a really good bar closing on its upper 1/3. So we know the bulls have now taken over. And if you watch my previous videos, you can also be looking for a 2B pattern here, which would give even more context. And this candle, the next candle, just took it out for the 2B pattern. If you're unfamiliar with that, go ahead and check out my other video. But this confirms when you have multiple setups that are playing out, it gives you such confidence in just letting the trade play out. So we can enter 1 tick above, put our stop where it needs to be, go for 4 times our risk or 2 times your risk. Again, you can place your first target at basic resistance or support, and then we just watch the trade play out. We can add on accordingly if we see more bars, or we can take profit off, put it to break even. Like I said, there's so many ways to do this. And about, what is this? Yeah, about 10 minutes later, we get our 4R. And so we risked, let's see here, 18 minus 11. We have 7 points of risk, and we have our 4R trade. Also, as you can see here, this one played out. This is probably one of the best examples. This is a 2 push move. There's also a 3 push move I'll show you here in a second. But this trade was particularly awesome because you had a 2B pattern as well that you could have entered, and it would have played out, if you're doing a 2B pattern, would have played out as well. So that's a little bit with the context rule as well. You can look for multiple things happening, but I wanted to show you. So that's a bullish trade, and we have our bearish trade so far. And I actually have 2 examples for you guys as well that I'm going to throw in this video of me just scalping out real quick on a few of these. I've just been playing around with this. I really like doing this, especially with the NASDAQ. It kind of like trading different strategies, seeing how they're doing, and it's pretty fun to me. And always seeing how the performance works as well when you're doing data logging is pretty rewarding. Okay, so here's the 3rd trade and the trades that I took. I'll clip them at the end of the video. Okay, so we have our first rule. We need price to make a higher high or lower low. Well, here we go. We have 1, 2, 1, 2, 3 pushes lower. RSI needs to make higher high or lower highs. And look at that. We have 1, 2, 3 pushes higher. So I entered 1 tick above this bar, and I simply just went for a 1-to-1 scalp here. Very simple trade, very fast trade. Didn't have a lot of time to actually stay in this trade. But my first target would have been the resistance, or I would have just done default 2R, trying to make 2 times my risk. And you would have hit that about 10 minutes later. So that was a really good trade as well. This is a 3 push move, kind of Linda Raschke talks about it. She uses a 310 oscillator, but it works pretty well with the RSI. You don't get very many of these. You might get 1 to 5 a week. But if you're making 2 to 4 times your risk, then it's pretty nice. So yeah, I just wanted to show you guys this. I'm going to go over the Keltner channel real quick as well because I forgot to do that. And let's see, where is this thing? Keltner channel, here we go. I also like to do it with a 2 period on the offset multiplier, and the period for this would be 20, so 220. And what I'm looking here for the Keltner channel is all we're doing is looking for U-turns and mean reversion. But when price is outside the Keltner channel, or touching the very bottom of the band, basically, it gives me a higher probability that when the 3 pushes happen or my divergences start to happen, that price is going to revert back at least up to the mean in the middle of the band, and at least touch or get close to the outer band. As you can see, that's the one example I just showed you, and let me go back to the other two. Okay, so here's the other two. Again, price is outside our band here, as you can clearly see, and price is very close to our band. Same thing with this. Outside our band, outside our band. Just mean reversion, very basic stuff. If you're new, then yeah, basically go ahead and check out some videos on Keltner channel and how it works. But you can incorporate that with this particular strategy if you'd like to give yourself more context and making sure you're on the right side of the market with this. Now, the only thing I'll have to say about this is you need to be careful about the trends, and you need to be very cautious of your risk. You can clearly see we're in a downtrend, and what we're doing is we're basically trying to time a slight move up for the bulls to have a chance to at least go long here. So yeah, it times it very well. I see usually about a 60% win rate with this, 65, especially if you're very cherry picking. But you know, a 50% win rate is more than probable with this strategy, and especially if you're making 2 to 4 times your risk. You guys can do the math on that one. And a little bonus here, as you can see, we have in real time right now, it's about 2:13 my time, we have lower low, lower high. Now this is actually a hoagie here. So if you do want to trade this, you could trade something like that to 1-1, back to the band, or 2R, and or look for the prior low. So as you can see, a lot of price patterns incorporate with what you're doing, and this is where the context comes in so important, because now I have a hoagie here. Will this hoagie break? Will I get a higher low? Can I re-enter? And this is what your opportunities you're looking for. Okay, so I'm going to add these two quick scalps of me doing those trades real quick, just to show you guys playing around. I want you guys to go ahead and do this in a simulator. Try to be disciplined with it. You need to always do a simulator before you start trading real money. Airplane pilots train hours and hours and hours in flight simulators before they just fly a plane. Same thing with trading. Don't lose all your money. You use technology to your advantage and do the simulator. So play around with this. Let me know what you guys, if you guys like these types of videos. Again, you can do this on a 1 minute, 5 minute, 10 minute, 15 minute, whatever time frame you like. I personally just like scalping. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys next time. Been made. Good signal bar. I entered with a limit order, I think, here. Try to hit OBS as fast as I could, but start recording. But yeah, just going for a 1-to-1 R here. Quick scalp. Nothing too fancy, just playing around with the strategy. But I just want to show you this real time and exactly what I'm looking for in my mindset. It's outside the Keltner channel, and I'm going to trail my stop properly, reduce my risk, and I'm going to get filled here in a second. Yeah, that's it. Okay, on to the second trade here. Drop a limit order, get filled, 1 contract, go for 1-to-1 here. Price making lower low, RSI making higher lower high. Go for 1. Basically just go to the resistance zone here. That's always your first target, basic support and resistance. Stop is underneath that bar. And I just want to go over something. Don't be afraid to use a simulator, especially when you're gathering data for a new strategy that you're developing and tweaking. Don't fall for all the YouTube gurus that are fake trading, photoshopping, bunch of numbers. They are fucking lying to you. Don't fall for it. And yeah, so I get filled here, quick scalp, and hope you guys enjoyed the video.